All right, guys, thank you for joining me today again. What today? Tuesday, almost Christmas time. Today I have Toms River North, Faith Wavershak, junior, right? Junior,
Yeah, junior.
soccer player and basketball player. Thank you for joining me, Faith.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you joining me. I'll start off with the normal question. When the pandemic hit, towards the end of last school year, how did you find the adjustment? Where all of a sudden you're in school one day and then the next day you're doing virtual learning.
Well, it was a really bizarre switch, so I kind of just had to wing it, but now I'm used to it and I like it a lot better, honestly.
What is Tom's River? Did you girls started off the year fully remote?
Yeah, we started off fully virtual and now we're hybrid, but we have the chance to stay all virtual, and that's what I do.
Okay. I'm guessing, talking to a lot of athletes are choosing to all virtual. It seems like, just to, reduce the risk of catching it and, spreading it to keep your seasons going. We'll talk a little bit about, this season with all the obstacles each team had, when we get into the high school. But how old were you when you first started playing soccer?
I was about 5 years old.
Five. Would you just play like the local Toms River club team?
Yeah, it was called TRSA then. I
Okay.
think it's now TRFC.
Okay. How about basketball? How old were you when you started playing basketball?
I started playing basketball late, so I started playing in fourth grade.
Fourth grade? It seems like, soccer, it's easier to start earlier than, basketball with the hoop. Any other sports when you were younger?
I danced. That didn't get very far though.
And that's it, just dance.
Yeah, just dance.
So out of your two sports, soccer is your primary, I guess.
Yeah, definitely soccer.
What drew you to soccer over basketball?
Um, well, I was inspired to play soccer. I just went to my brother's games every day. I kind of just started to love the game, so I started playing myself. And then I kind of just tried out basketball, and I just kept with it.
How old's your brother?
Well, now he's 21, so he
21.
doesn't play anymore.
So he played soccer.
Yeah,
Any other siblings?
I have a sister. She ran track, but that was
Okay.
it.
Okay. Were you and your brother ultra competitive?
Yes, we were. I'm better.
That's what they all say. My sister, I had a younger sister, and yeah, she would say she's better too, and she was very competitive. I always said she was the hardest defender I ever went up against basketball. And I'm sure your brother probably say the same thing, just knowing how you play defense.
Yeah.
Um, I like to ask the players this: what have your parents meant to you in your development?
Oh, my parents have been very supportive, from all the long drives for just one game, all the tournaments, and they kind of just support me through everything. So,
Yeah, that's great. And I always see your dad's at every single game of yours in the stands. Great to see. And before we started, I said how much I like listening to him. All the stuff he's yelling at there. It just and he's one of the parents that he cheers everyone. Not just you. He cheers everyone, which is great to see too. Those are the parents I tend to talk to more than the ones that just care about their own kid.
yeah, you can't miss
Um, no, no. So you said you started with the Toms River. What other teams did you play for, growing up?
Well, I sucked for TRFC for a while, and then I tried out for PDA, and I've been there since I was 11.
Okay. So you've been there for a couple of years now. PDA Shore, right?
Yeah, PDA sure.
Who's your current coach?
My current coach is Lowe Santa Cruz.
Okay, yeah. Um, how do you like playing for Lou?
I really like him. He's a really good coach, and we just started with him actually because PDA switches coaches
Yeah,
every about 2 years, so we just got him. But he's really good.
he's a pretty funny guy. I met him for the first time at the state finals, Brick versus Cranford, and he was a pretty funny guy. He acted like he knew me forever. It was the first time I met you, so that has to be good. Who are some of the players on your PDA team?
Well, Abby Alexa,
Okay.
Jacqueline Graham, she's on North,
Yeah.
Gianna DePisa, Brandy Manna, A bunch of the Donovan girls like Olivia Conroy, Mac, and Zoe and Pamira.
Okay. I was going to ask this later, but since you brought up all the Toms River players, what is it about Toms River? Every time, if I'm at a North game, South game, um, you girls all support each other. I'll see North players at a South game or East game. What is it about that the town has such a good, the support system like that?
Well, I think when we go against each other, we're rivals. So when we don't go against each other, we obviously want to be there for each other. So it's just good to show support.
Yeah, I think I brought it up with Abby when I interviewed her. How talented Toms River, you got four teams if you count Donovan, and talent's all spread out, and all teams are pretty competitive. How good if you had one team, how good the team would be.
Oh, I know. Yes, be very good.
So switching over to so basketball real quick for your youth. I know soccer is your primary sport. How did you play just club basketball growing up, or did you ever do AAU?
I played AAU for the Stars, Thompson
Okay.
River Stars. I don't know if you heard of them. And I played for the Bells for 1 year, but I just stopped that because it was getting too much with soccer.
Yeah, it's impressive that you do AAU and PDA, because I know how much PDA, how much time that takes, and then AAU, similar, academy soccer is similar to AAU. So you play for the Stars. That's Conroy's team, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was actually at the one scrimmage where it got it was almost over, and Jackson
Oh yeah, I
police
got
just
shut down.
yeah, I was leaving because my niece had practice around the corner, and I saw the cops pull up, and I text Jordan Keating. I was like, I think your practice is about to end, because like they were swarming in from like every direction, like the place was being robbed. I was like, what is going on here? It's just a basketball game. um, so moving to high school, what are some goals you set for yourself when you were first entering Toms River?
Well, when I was a freshman, I really just wanted to get in the game anytime I could because it was a good team. So, it was going to be hard for a freshman to see the field. So that's really all I wished for. And it was really good. We won a championship that year.
Yeah. Want to talk about you had a very successful team. I mean, Toms River North's always pretty successful. Who were some upperclassmen in soccer that, your freshman year that you were able to go to or that helped you out?
Definitely Paige Farley. I mean, I still go to her with advice.
Mhm.
She's very understanding and she's supportive. So I really go to her for everything.
Now, Paige graduated last season, right?
Yeah.
Where did she go to school?
University of New Hampshire.
Yeah, okay. She playing soccer up there?
No.
No? And she played basketball with you, right?
Yeah,
For
she
the
played
team?
her senior year, but I think she didn't play junior year.
Okay. Now switching to basketball, did you played your freshman year?
Yeah, I did.
What you had an experienced player like Jenna Paul. What is something you like Jenna was able to teach you, basketball wise?
We had such a young team freshman year. It was a team full of freshmen. So she kind of just kept all of us in line. I mean, it's a different switch from middle school to high school, and she really knew how to get us going.
How was it? You guys won South Jersey Group 4, right? Your freshman year for basketball. How was that experience?
It was a great experience. I had a really good freshman year for both soccer and basketball, and it just felt great.
Yeah. Now moving to the sophomore year, you played with Royson. How is it playing with like a talent like that?
Playing with Emily was tough. I mean, she's a really good player, but she pushed me to do better. So it was really good having her back there.
Now I want to talk. Now I saw your freshman year. I kind of just watched like St. Rose play that year. I started branching out last year. Now you girls lose the first game of the season to St. John Vianney. What did it mean coming back in the short conference tournament and beating them to help your run to the finals?
we just used it as revenge. I mean, that was the fuel to the fire to beat them in the tournament. So
I was at that game. That was a tough game. It was a pretty back and forth. Um, moving to I wanted to talk real quick. You made it to the finals. Just go through that game with RBC. It seems like you and RBC, Tom's River North and RBC, always find that are matching up against each other in the short conference tournament.
yeah, well, freshman year we beat them. That was a really good moment. And then sophomore year, they kind of just got us on a bad day, I guess. It's always back and forth between us. We're big rivals, so.
And then you girls had a good state run, and you just run into Eastern, which is just a powerhouse. Everybody knows Eastern's the number one team in the state usually. Just talk like that game a little bit against Eastern.
Well, we knew they were a really good team. I mean, Riley Tiernan, she's a really good player, committed to Rutgers. So we knew that we just needed to go out there and give it our all. And I guess they just caught us at our mistakes and scored, so.
Now, switching over to basketball, you did get some revenge on Eastern in basketball. I had Gia and Justine on, and Gia talked about the excitement and for that game. So just talk about, so people who don't know, Toms River North beat Eastern at the buzzer, and you had the game winner, right?
Yeah,
You
I
went
did.
coast to coast. So just go through that last like minute of the game or minute and a half.
Well, the last minute and a half was hectic, very hectic. I mean, it was a battle. We kept scoring back and forth, and it was our last possession. We were down one, so I just said to myself, I'm not letting us lose against Eastern. So, I just took it.
Yeah, it was on Jersey Sports Zone, right? It was going all over, and people. I was at a different game, but people were sending. I was getting the text messages and stuff, and it's just you just flew up the court and laid it in. Just could imagine if that was a home game, what kind of reaction
Oh,
you girls would have got. It went pretty crazy, and you were on the road. So, that's one thing I want to talk about. Like high school sports. Playing. Something like basketball, playing crowd. Does that help motivate you?
oh, for sure. When the crowd gets loud, you just got to do good. I mean, it motivates everyone on the team, but sometimes it might be a downer because some girls might want to impress the crowd. But like overall,
Yeah.
I think my teams have done a good job of, using it to motivate us.
Now, last year, the basketball team was a young team. How many you had? Paige was a senior, right, last year,
And Christina Johnson.
and Christina Johnson. What was something that Christina Johnson taught you? Since those two being the two leaders.
Wow, Christina is also a really good player. I mean, she also had to deal with the young group, and sometimes that would frustrate her, being she was there for so long. But overall, I think she really helped us when we were going crazy in games. She would bring us in the huddle and just say, "Calm down," and I think that really helped us.
Do you think moving to this season, that's you could pass that on? Because I know you got a couple freshmen coming in for basketball right this year. Is that something you think you'd be able to pass on? To get them to calm down, since you're going to be considered one of the leaders.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to support them. Other girls were there for us, so we all have to be there for them. So.
We'll talk basketball this season. I just want to we'll go through the soccer season now. During the summer, did you think the season was going to happen with COVID and everything?
Definitely not. I mean, start dates were getting moved around here and there. Everything was just getting moved. And when I got that text that we would have a season, I just knew we had to win. We had to win.
Was there any fear that the season get going and then all of a sudden it just might end?
For sure. For sure. There was a lot of COVID cases around us, like in other towns and stuff. And coach always kept saying, it's getting close to home, guys. So you gotta stay safe.
I have to say, your school, the brick schools, knock on wood, there was no issues, and you were able to. It seemed like more of the issues were Monmouth County, which take credit. Whether I don't know if kids were going out more, or you girls were staying. I was talking to one of your teammates' parents, and she said her daughter didn't even leave the house, unless it was going to soccer. Just you didn't want to take that chance. Now talking a little bit basketball, it's a short season. One case, that's what, a little over a quarter of the season, gone already. If the school gets a case. With soccer, there's only you only had how many seniors were on this roster for soccer?
We had a decent amount of seniors. I think 6 or 7.
Okay, but I mean, for the most part, for the starting lineup and stuff, I mean, you had Cam, Isabel, so there's a very good core coming back for next season. I want to ask this: what is something Cam, was able to teach you, because being one of the senior leaders, and everybody knows, one of the best goalies in the state. What is something that she's been able to teach you?
Well, just Johnson, when things were getting crazy, she would always just be the backbone and help calm us down. And it really helped her being back there because it kind of lifted a little bit of weight off the defender's shoulders because we knew we had such a great goalie back there.
Yeah, that was my next question. Does she make your job easier, if you're playing defense, knowing that you have somebody like her on the back line?
Yeah, for sure.
Now you girls had a great regular season, undefeated. I mean, you went undefeated all year until the state finals. What was something, or something that the coach tried to emphasize all season that kept the team going on such a great run?
Well, the coaches kept telling us that nobody respected us. Like, you would see every other team in the papers and whatever. And I think that just motivated us to prove them all wrong. And we did that.
Yeah, I had you, I think preseason I had 4, and then when RBC lost, I had you number 1, and I had number 1 up until the last game of the year. But the first time I saw you girls play was Toms River East, and I was so impressed the way the team moves the ball. Everyone gets involved. To me, Toms River North was one of the most complete teams from forward all the way, back to goal. Which says a lot because even some of the better teams, there's always one element that might be a little weaker, but you solid defense, midfield, forwards, and obviously Cam. What position are you considered? Because you play defense, but you also move up a lot. What position do you think you?
I play like a holding mid, but I stay back a little more than I would go forward.
Yeah, you're one of the most. I wouldn't want to go up against you. Let me say you're very tough on defense. It's so, and I used to coach soccer, and I that's what I love. I love starting from the back and moving the ball, moving up. I want to talk the state run a little bit. You played Manalapan, right? Was that
Yeah, we played
that
Manalapan.
was before the game before the finals? Was that the?
Yeah, I think it was semis. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I saw Manalapan play a couple of times. Good goalie. How was that game? I didn't get to that game, but it was like 1-0, right?
It was 1-0. It was a battle the whole game. And we kind of just broke them down and got that goal. So.
Yeah. And they have a couple of very fast forwards. And how did your team, or what was the strategy trying to keep them contained?
Well, the coach just told us all season, just play your own game. So, we stuck to that, and we didn't really adjust to the other team. We adjusted to what we wanted to do, so that worked. So,
need to talk a little bit the state final game. It's a tough game. Big thing, first half was very evenly played. I thought, your team had some opportunities. I thought actually first half your team probably had a couple more opportunities than they did. What do you think changed in the second half that they were able to kind of, apply so much pressure?
Well, I think they just broke us down once, and they just knew how to beat our defense, so they just kept doing it. So they were really just on a roll the whole game, the whole half. So
yeah, and that I forget what her name was, the one forward that she had 3 goals, I think, right? The one girl had the 3 goals.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was very, very talented, but it was funny listening to your dad because that first one was a little.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah. And then because I ran into, I was sitting with the PDA guys, and even they, they like, they don't know what happened with that first goal. Why that call was like it was a foul, right? And then they had a free kick and they put it in the free kick, right? Yeah, it was very very weird call. But anyway, you have a very good core coming back next year. What do you think the goals are going to be for next season for soccer?
Definitely to win a sectional title. I mean, we've been there the past 2 years and we lost in the finals both times. So, we're really just craving that win in the sectional finals. And also, yeah.
You think knock on wood, everything's back to normal next season, next year. Get revenge and get that W against Eastern.
Yeah, I hope so.
That would be a good way to end your high school soccer career, wouldn't it be?
Definitely.
I want to talk a little bit about basketball this season. Do you think the season's going to actually happen?
I've got to be honest with you. No, I don't think it's going to happen because it's happening after Christmas, and including myself, everybody's traveling, so you never know. But I think we might, but I don't know. It's up in the air.
Yeah, it's tough. And what's your thoughts? It's only like 5 weeks, right? This
Yeah,
season,
it's very
like
short.
it's kind of. I mean, I'm not a player. I'm just a fan, goes to the games, but it's kind of like to me, what's the point in playing 5 weeks? Kids might get more doing the AAU. But the excitement, hopefully they let some fans in too.
As of now, there's no spectators allowed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be tough. So, especially somebody like your father who, craves, myself, I don't have, kids in any schools, but, I'm at a game every single day. But if, season happens, young team from last year, do you think you learned a lot and able to gel a lot that your team's going to be, I think I think they're going to fly under the radar and shock a lot of teams. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that. I mean, a lot of our team has been playing since we were in fourth grade when I started Stars. A bunch of the girls were on Stars with me, so we've always had that chemistry there. So I really think we're going to do good this season.
Yeah, I mean, and you have a little bit of everything. You got Gia is good center to me, one of the best defensive centers. Aggressive, getting the rebounds, offensively and defense, and blocks a ton of shots. You got some scorers, and you have a couple nice freshmen coming in. So I think the RBCs, the St. Roses, and the St. John Vianney's get all the accolades, but I think your team's going to be surprising some people. So we did that. You up for a little rapid fire questions?
Sure.
Random. All right. What's your favorite movie?
The Boy.
The Boy. What is
It's
that?
a scary movie.
No, not for me then. Favorite TV show?
Dance Moms.
Dance Moms. Okay. What is your favorite subject in school?
Math.
Math. Well, what's your favorite number?
23.
23. Is that a basketball number? Is that your
No,
basketball number?
I'm 22 for basketball. Somebody took my number.
Oh. And what number are you for Thompson River North Soccer?
1.
1?
Yeah.
What made you pick 1?
Number 1.
I like that answer. Are you 23 for PDA?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is 23 your favorite number?
Well, again, it was my brother's number, so
Okay.
I took it after him.
Okay. What is something you enjoy to do outside of basketball and soccer, like your free time?
Definitely hang out with my friends.
Okay.
Outside of sports.
I know, and probably not much free time anyway with PDA and AAU schoolwork. How do you like when I was in school? You were a sports player or you were just book smart? Now it seems like everybody is both. All the kids are geniuses and play sports at the top level. How do you balance that?
Well, this year really had an impact on me. So, after school, I just get all my work done. I study early. I don't wait till the last minute all the time now. So I've really learned to balance all the sports and all the workout. So it works out now.
That's good. Do you think with the pandemic it helped teach you like time management?
Definitely.
Which is when I started doing these interviews was right when the pandemic hit, right after they ended the basketball season, and a lot of the girls were saying that some schools, they just get the assignments in the morning and they had a plan when they were going to do it themselves. And I said to them, that's going to be great for when you go to, college, because basically they give you a syllabus and they say, good luck. Um, Speaking of college, what are some things you're looking at when you're, thinking of colleges, like size, location, that kind of stuff?
I really just want to go down south. I really just want to be by the beach. It doesn't matter to me the size, but like I just need to be by the beach.
Jersey Shore girl, definitely.
Yeah.
So you're looking like Florida and down like that area?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting tired of these winters up here.
Me too.
Yeah, there's some brutal days. When you played Brick Memorial in
Oh,
this, I was going to go to that game and I stepped outside. I was like, I am not going outside to that game.
yeah, I need the ball, and oh my gosh, my knee hurt so bad after because it was just so cold and brisk out. So
Yeah, I have to say cold is probably the worst for soccer players, especially if you get a reflection like that just, bounces off you the wrong way and you feel that sting for a couple minutes.
definitely feel it.
For college, do you know what you want to study yet?
I've been looking into law, so I might want to be a lawyer, and I also want to be a math major, so I'm deciding between the two.
See, that's what I'm saying. No athletes wanted to be lawyers when I was in school. So if you pursue that, great, good luck with that. Last question, then I'll let you go. What advice would you give your younger self?
I would definitely say don't worry about people who don't believe in you. I mean, when I was younger, I'd really judge myself, I guess, based off what other people said to me. And now that I don't, I just feel like I'm a much better player overall.
Did your parents play any sports growing up, or?
My dad played wrestling, baseball. I kind of just experimented with a bunch of sports, and my mom was just a cheerleader. So
Okay, so you didn't nobody with a soccer background and stuff. That's my thing. Okay. Well, Faith, thank you for joining me, and I'm hoping I can sneak into a couple basketball games this season. We'll see what happens, but hopefully you girls get a season.
as I hope so. Thank you for
So
having me.
no problem. You don't do any spring sports?
No, I don't.
No track. You take some time off. Yeah.
No, I'm not a track runner.
That's funny. So I mean, but spring's probably pretty big with PDA, right?
Yeah, we go all year round basically.
Yeah.
After
So,
season for school.
when do games start for PDA again?
Well, we had a lot scheduled, but most of them got canceled, obviously. But we're starting to look for games in the end of January. So
Okay, my niece did that Friday camp that they were running from basically September on. Madison was one of her trainers. So when she goes to the Tom's River games, it's I always sit on the home side, but we were at the brick game. And we were sitting with the brick people, and she's like, "Are they gonna get mad? I'm rooting for Tom's River." I was like, okay. Yeah, she enjoys watching, going to the games, and she says hopefully one day she's on the field like that. So
you will be.
yeah. So Faith, thank you, and hope your family has a good Christmas.
Thank you. Have a good Christmas too.
Yeah. Have a good day.
Bye.